Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Astøn, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Lost Movie News. Now, before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share so your friends can see. It helps us out a lot more than you know, and lets us continue to bring content on a daily basis. Now, for our first story of the day, we're going to be talking about the new Dumbo project, the new live-action Dumbo coming from Disney. So, they've added on a new talent, Eva Green. We don't know exactly what role she's going to be playing, but she isn't the only person we know about this coming into this film. You know, we got Will Smith, who is rumored to actually be in the film. We got Tom Hanks, who's in the rumor mill. And we got Tim Burton actually directing the film. So, I don't know how dark. Everybody knows Tim Burton has a certain directing style. I don't know how exactly that's going to translate into Dumbo. And with Dumbo being like Disney's actually shortest film, he has a lot of room to actually grow this film, add in parts that he wants to grow in. So I'm wondering how these three pieces are all these four pieces are going to fit together. You know, Eva Green, Tom Hanks, Will Smith, and Tim Burton. I'd love to know how these guys all fit together and how this film is actually going to turn out. I can see Tom Hanks being the ringmaster. Maybe Will can be like the handler, or even like the rat. I can see him being a rat also. Oh, I don't know where Eva Green fits in. Eva Green, I don't know exactly. She could be playing an adult role. She could be playing Dumbo. I just don't know where all these pieces are going to fall in. I'm about 100% sure if Tom Hanks signs on, he's definitely going to be playing the ringmaster. I'm about 100% sure for that. Now, how do I feel about this? Eva Green, I liked her in was it Miss Pendergrass's House of like Extraordinary Children thing. I actually enjoyed her in that film. Everybody knows like, I'm a big advocate for Will Smith. I'm a big Will Smith fan. Tom Hanks. Hey, I like Tom Hanks. I wasn't really a big fan of A Bridge of Spies. I wasn't really a big fan of that, but for a lot of his work, I do enjoy it for Tom Hanks. So I can't really get upset at these names that are popping up. A lot of people say Will Smith really just plays Will Smith in every movie. True, but for the most part, I do enjoy most of his films. I'm a big Will Smith fan. So like, honestly, like, Will can really do no wrong for me. I haven't seen Wild Wild West in a long time, and I was also a kid the first time I seen it. So I actually remember liking Wild Wild West. Like, I grew up on like Will Smith, so like Will Smith was like one of my childhood heroes. Nothing I can really do about that. I really liked Will Smith. Now, moving on to our next film, we got DreamWorks is cutting one of the films out of their slate. So, Larrikins is officially canned. So, Larrikins, it was featuring like voices from Margot Robbie, Hugh Jackman. It was supposed to take place in Australia, and with the new regiment takeover for DreamWorks, they're cutting some things out, and unfortunately, Larrikins is one of the films that happened to be cut. What else was The Croods 2 was cut, and I could honestly understand Croods 2 because I wasn't the biggest fan of Croods 1. I know my daughter enjoys it, but I just wasn't the biggest fan of the Croods. So I can see them cutting that. We didn't really need a Croods 2. Like, what? Like, continue to make the little TV show you guys are making on Netflix. That's one thing I do like about DreamWorks. When they make a movie, they have some little partnership with Netflix where all their movies are going to automatically get at least a first season on Netflix. So I can't be upset with that. Now, with that being said, let's move on to a flashback. It's Wednesday, movie Flashback, and we're going 10 years back this week. So the biggest three films that came out was Wild Dogs. Wild Hogs, we got Black Snake Moan, and we got Zodiac. All three of these films are meaning something to me. I think it's the first time we've done a flashback where all the films on the list actually I have a memory for it. So Zodiac, I remember about the Zodiac Killer. I remember enjoying this film, more of a thriller. I actually enjoyed that film. Black Snake Moan, I honestly never seen it, but I definitely remember I remember like Samuel L. Jackson had the girl chained out in his yard, like she was sleeping like in a doghouse or something like that. So I've never actually seen the film, but it definitely it strikes a nerve in me. Like, not strikes a nerve, but it definitely, like, I remember it. I can definitely remember the trailer and everything, like clear as crystal. I definitely remember this. And Wild Hogs, I remember there's like Tim Allen, who else? Martin Lawrence. There were a bunch of like older comedians. They're connecting and going like a road trip on like motorcycles. And obviously, while they're doing this wild road trip, things happen, like life happens. I forgot. I remember at one point they had to sleep naked in a field or something like that to keep warm. Who else? David Spade was in this too. I definitely seen this movie. I don't know why I've seen this, but I definitely seen this. If I remember correctly, this is a Disney film, so that's probably why I've seen it. And I don't like. Only movie I remember being a good movie is Zodiac. I definitely seen Zodiac. Wild Hogs, I think was okay. It wasn't. But Black Snake Moan, I never really got a chance to see it. Maybe I started watching it before and I like fell asleep when I never finished it. But I definitely remember all three of these films. So that's saying, I don't know if that means I'm getting old or what, but I'm definitely starting to remember films from 10 years ago. So that's really all we have for Flashback. Let's go on to our next story, which is going to be DC. So with all the hype coming off of Deadpool and Logan, both like doing really good for the new age of rated R superhero films, DC is thinking about throwing their hat in the ring. And I don't agree with this. I honestly do not agree. Honestly, it's probably going to make money. I don't think they should do it yet. I think they should actually focus on making good movies first. Like, have a consistent slate going on where these movies are actually good. Yes, they're making movies, but they're not critically received well. They're not. They're also they're very like split decision with the audience. They definitely did come out with a film that they can actually say landed on both scales, like the critic meter, financially, and with fans. They need to do that. Focus on that first, and then they can start worrying about if they can make better films. Start worrying about R-rated film just for money. Because you guys are making money right now, so chasing the money shouldn't be the issue right now for them at the moment. And a lot of people can say, but Astøn, they got a Grammy for Suicide Squad. The makeup artist got a Grammy, and I understand that the makeup artist got a Grammy because what they did with the makeup and the way they made the color shine through with that dark movie was nothing short of amazing. So I give them props for that. Harley Quinn makeup was great. The way it shined through, even with that very dark and bleak like scenery, it definitely shined through. The colors came through. Everything looked great on screen. So yeah, I'll give them that. But they need to focus on making good, consistent films and cohesive films, honestly, because these films the stories are always very partial, and I'm hoping Wonder Woman is good. I'm actually have high hopes for Wonder Woman, so I believe that's the next DC film coming out. I'm definitely hoping that. Now, I'm not saying they don't have material that will work for this. I mean, they could do like a War World movie that definitely would lend itself for this. We got what else? Justice League Dark will lend itself for this. We have a lot of films. DC have a lot of material that would definitely go towards this. I just feel like they need to focus on not really chasing money or whatever, but more focus on making these nice, strong, cohesive films, which would actually help boost their universe at the moment right now. So that's what they need to focus on, other than, oh, let's go make an R-rated movie since R-rated movies are doing well right now. No. Focus on making good movies first, and then start throwing your hats into the ring for these R-rated films. See, because Fox, is it Fox? No, it's not Fox. It is Fox, yeah. So Fox, they made good X-Men film first, and then they started doing X-rated X-Men film. Wolverine 1 didn't start off as an X-rated film. It could have been that. I think Wolverine 2 had an X-rated version, but it didn't go to theaters, which was actually better than the original version, so it probably should have went to theaters. But Wolverine started off with, okay, we're going to do a regular Wolverine, build it up, it had a little controversy, then they decided to do an X-rated version, and then Logan was to the point where like, oh, we know we're going to make our money back with this. And then with Deadpool, yes, it was the first time it came out, but Deadpool is one of those properties that could have went either way. it definitely could have went either way. Deadpool has a cult following, so there's no way that Deadpool was going to fail. Like Deadpool had it, like, and then with Ryan Reynolds and the guerrilla marketing they were doing, that film was going to succeed, like, regardless. So going on from there, we got our next story of the day. We got Ant-Man. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, they actually set a filming date. Everybody's like, oh. So for the filming date is July 6th of this year. They're going to start filming. So what that basically means for me, everything that he has to do for Infinity Wars, I believe it's probably going to be done. Or what they're going to do is they're going to get some of his key scenes done. I believe Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2 is going to be a 9-month shoot or something like that. So I believe Ant-Man and Wasp probably be like a maybe 2-3 month shoot. And what they're going to do is for he's going to shoot his parts, and then he's going to go over to shoot his parts in Ant-Man and the Wasp, because Marvel shoots most of their films in Atlanta, so it's only a hop and a skip across to the next lot for them to shoot Ant-Man. So it's not gonna be that big of a deal. So going on from there, we know I'm definitely I'm happy for that. Now we're going to our buy or sell segment. So Jason Momoa has been signed on to do a Just Cause film. So I do buy that Jason Momoa is going to be doing an action film, but I sell the fact of a Just Cause film. Because I played Just Cause, I really didn't enjoy it that much. I think I played for like maybe an hour, and I just never returned to it again. So I don't feel like Just Cause has a strong enough story to actually succeed in the theaters. I think the concept you can definitely build from it, but I'm going to sell on the fact that they're trying to like adapt the Just Cause video game, because you have like the little cable and everything. You're spinning, like you're jumping across the map and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I feel it being just as bad as his Conan the Barbarian film. Hopefully, Jason Momoa doesn't like. I hope this film is better than that. So I'm definitely going to sell that one. Now, moving on to our next story, it's kind of like a two-parter. We got the X-Men universe. So the X-Men universe is said to connect where it's organic. Now, I don't know how that's going to work, honestly, because there's no way. I feel like there's no way to connect all these films. There's no way. Like, there's definitely no way to connect all these films. I'm lying. I see a way to do it. I definitely do see a way to do it, because in Apocalypse, they're all teenagers. So add 10 years on, like, add teenager, they'll be in their mid-20s. They'll be in their mid-30s for the catch up for Deadpool, to catch up to the Deadpool universe. So yeah, I can see them still doing. I can see the X-Men still being in their mid-30s, playing out here saving the world. I can definitely see that. So I can definitely buy their story if they if they keep these characters. I don't know. They'll probably have to recast though for them to be what, like, the X-Men we just seen in Apocalypse, that like the newer kind of like Jean Grey, Cyclops, and everything. Because Deadpool is definitely in his mid-30s in his film, so I believe the other X-Men can definitely be in their mid-30s, teaching the New Mutants everything, like Cyclops and them being professors, how we seen like in the cartoons and stuff right before they go out and do. So I definitely see them being like, it definitely works. So I'm actually going to buy the story now once I broke it down to myself. Originally I was going to say, like, there's no way to connect this universe anymore. It's just all over the place. But to the first part of the story, I'm going to buy. Now, the next part of the story is once Cable basically makes his debut in Deadpool 2, for the X-Force movie, Cable and Deadpool are actually going to be the stars of that film. And this is a no-brainer. Like, it made sense. X-Force needed Deadpool to succeed. There was no point in my life where I was like, not in my life, but there's no point I was like, oh, they're going to do an X-Force without Deadpool. It doesn't make sense. X-Force needs Deadpool to succeed. I don't know how he's going to adapt, because we know X-Force is supposed to be a PG-13 film. So I don't know exactly how they're going to adapt Deadpool to a PG-13 scenery. Maybe like they can have him cussing, but instead of doing the beep, or they can either beep him, or just make it fall on deaf ears. Like what does it? The magician does it. Anytime they like curse or anything that can't be on like TV, it just bleep. They don't bleep it out. They just silence it out. It just. And then who else does it? I think Mr. Robot does it. So Mr. Robot does it. Anytime they say the F word, they just silence it out when they say the F word. You see him talking and you just don't hear the F word come out. But obviously, that was going to be the next word to follow in that sentence. So I think they can go like that. There's a couple ways they can go about it. I just want to know how they're going to do it. And definitely play up on the fact that they need Deadpool to play on the fact that when he cusses, that it's either bleeped or silenced. They need Deadpool to play up on that fact. Everybody just think he's crazy. So I got to see how this is going to work together. I definitely understand, like, I was never a point where I was like, oh, Deadpool's not going to be in X-Force. I think this was a no-brainer. They need him to be there. And that's it. Moving on to our next story, we had Bad Boys, Joe Carnahan. So Joe Carnahan is coming out today. He's not going to be on Bad Boys 3. Now, he's citing that it's scheduling conflict, which I'm going to sell. I don't know what happened that he's not going to be on it. I think they got Will back. They have, obviously, Martin's been dying to do his film like the last couple of years. He can't stop talking about it. There's like, at this point in the game, anytime we hear a scheduling conflict, there's definitely something else. Because once these people sign on to these films, they've had their whole schedule blocked out to shoot this film. I don't know if this film got delayed. Maybe that's why he's dropping out due to scheduling conflict. Maybe they want him to shoot sooner and he can't do that. I can see that. They want to shoot sooner or the film is delayed. But if this film is slated to start when it was slated to, there's no reason he has a schedule conflict. There's no reason. He's dropping out either because of there's some issues on set. There's an issue with the script. What the studio wants him to do and his idea for the film just isn't meshing anymore. There's no scheduling conflict because these people have their schedules done for them like 2 years in advance. Like, he knew what he was doing for this film. He knew when he was supposed to be there. He knew what he needed. Oh, I'm not buying the scheduling conflict. I'm definitely going to sell that. There's no scheduling conflict going on. Maybe later on down the line we'll find out what really happened for him to drop out, but this definitely wasn't a scheduling conflict. Let's get that right. So, our final story of the day, Life. Ooh, I feel like Ryan Reynolds spoke about a lot today. So, Life, they released a quick scene from the movie just to get people enticed. This movie is coming out March 24th, and I'm actually excited for this film. So basically what happens is we have a group of scientists who are stationed on the space station. And while they're stationed on the space station, they have a pod returning back towards Earth from Mars. And it's supposed to be like basically the first one that makes it out of Mars. So with that being said, they can get these catch this pod and get some of the materials off of it and basically study it and see what kind of signs of life there are on Mars. So first sign of life. They catch it, they get the sign of life, they're studying it and everything. They're trying to figure out how this life form has survived all this time on Mars because Mars has been dead for thousands of years. You're studying the life form, they bring the life form back to life basically, or reactivate it, I don't know, wake it up or whatever. I don't know if it's what the term it was in, I don't know, hibernation or something like that. But that's what happened. They brought it back, and in doing so, they unleashed hell on the space station. This little thing, like they said, all the cells are nerve and muscles. So, that's crazy. That's crazy. Every cell has a nerve and a muscle in the same cell. So with that going on, we see he actually latches onto the scientist's hands. We see Ryan Reynolds maybe some type of security or anything. He's dying to get in there to help his friend out. Everyone's backing up like, no, we can't let this happen. We see what else was going on? Like one of the crewmates had a kid. This movie looks like this sci-fi movie. I'm definitely going to check out March 24th. I will be there. I'm definitely going to do a review for it. Our Logan review is still on the way. We're definitely going to do that also. But besides that, this movie looks great. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm definitely going to see this. Trailer has me more excited, so I'm definitely going to buy it. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan, so I'm definitely going to go support my guy. And That's really all we have today. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share if you like the content so your friends can see. And as always, stay lost.